This is Scott Carpenter. So I'm going to try new technology, or old technology for new for me. Big complaints that my voice is not loud enough when I'm speaking, so I'm going to try to use a friend of mine bought me for Christmas. I just haven't got it out. Bought me a microphone. I got me a DVR, so we're going to give it a whirl. And let's see, hold power on. Neighbor's going to make noise, and then I'm going to hit record. So now I'm recording. So we got both the video camera and this guy right here doing its thing. So apologies for not having any content the last couple weeks. Just a lot going on in my personal life. Nothing bad, just girlfriends with surgeries and work and selling my mom's house and all that goes along with that, and just all kinds of different things going on. I really wanted to get out in the woods today, but it's like a 90%. Well, it's supposed to be raining, but it's not. Probably won't rain, but might get out later this afternoon. But really need to get out and just stretch my legs and get some fresh air. But a few things I wanted to touch on. It's going to be like thought about splitting in this to several little videos, but you know, just give it to you all in one gulp here. I don't think it's too much for anybody to handle. So let me take another sip of coffee. So I've been got several people want to know my opinion about the Expedition Bigfoot TV show and their conclusion. And I'm just going to be honest, I've watched a couple episodes. I personally met a couple of those people that are on the show, and I think in Ohio, it was at Ohio, the Bigfoot conference in Ohio, Salt Fork. So I know them, kind of, I guess, you know, and also, we talked, so back then, so that's been 3-4 years ago. So I don't know, we're acquaintances. I know who they are, they know who I am, but that way. Basically the producers of this show are the same producers of Finding Bigfoot, and they retooled it, made it a little bit more sophisticated. I can say, to their credit, they are tackling some of the more mainstream, and when I say mainstream, I mean Sasquatch mainstream, not regular mainstream, like cloaking and orbs and mind speak and those things that I and others deal with on a regular basis. So they are introducing that, and they are going there. In fact, I think one of the big things this year was the fact that they got something cloaked, went in front of the light. There was nothing on the camera, but you could see its shadow. So obviously something was casting a shadow that was not visible. So from that perspective, you can't be negative. The show's the same formula. It's a reality show, and everybody needs to realize that. And they're not going to, they came close. Sometimes it's frustrating because they get these thermals and not pay much attention to them. And in my humble opinion, the thermals are, that was pretty good stuff. But I know they exist. They exist. And so it's kind of a redundant point, but people like to watch it. It still pulls interest. So, but as usual, we get down to the end of the show and the DNA, and it comes back human. or human mixed with chimpanzee or some sort of thing. And then I think Russell had a hair trap and it come back human. You know, he was supposedly chasing this thing through the woods where, you know, nobody else is, and it came back human. So, and I don't know what these people, I don't get it. Since the late 1980s, when you were able to, they started doing tests, you know, whenever they would get a hair sample that would yield DNA, it always came back with human mitochondrial. And for the last 50 years, what, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 20, last 40 years, well, it's just contaminated. And it's just get over that, okay, folks? It's not contaminated. Because you know, these same labs that do this, oh, it must have been contaminated. They're labs that are used by law enforcement and to do DNA tests to put people in jail. And some of these were putting people on death row. So now, you know, either our labs are all corrupt and you know, need to be shut down because they can't process and clean a hair sample, or maybe we want to wake up and think outside the box and say maybe these are human hybrids. Now they did kind of, I think Ronnie or one of them did, somebody did kind of allude to, you know, the human hybrid aspects of it. But it's just like, but it's almost like they show any result that's going to confirm the results of the Sasquatch genome study. It's like, well, we can't do that because we all know Melba was a kook, so we can't have her results being verified by our results, so we can't do it. And that's not science, and that's not honesty, and that's not being truthful. You know, that's, you know, like, you know, that's propaganda, and I'm over that. I'm tired of that. It's silly. We need to get past that crap. But, you know, I guess what I think of it is, you know, reality TV show, threw some nuggets out there, you know. At the end of the day, they come back with the same old, you know, same old tired, you know, or we don't understand it was human DNA. We just don't know. Must have been contaminated. And so, you know, I guess as long as people are willing to buy the TV show and watch it, you know, that's great. Because I don't bemoan anybody making money. You know, you got to make a living, and if you can make a living, if you get paid by going to do that, more power to you. Go for it. You know, somebody's going to pay me quite a bit of money to go do a TV show like that. I don't know if I wouldn't say yes, because the thing about it is, oh, Scott, you've compromised your principles. Well, you know, talk to somebody that was on the Finding Bigfoot show, and I won't say who it was, but they're like, look, I know this is a TV show, I know this is a reality TV show, and we're not going to find anything, but I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life. I'm going to save all the money I can, and then when this show finishes its run, then I can go do the real study. Then I can go do what I love to do and get out and study these things. And that was what that person wanted to do. And, you know, I can't, you know, and more power to him. You know, that's, you know, I can't, you know, say that they're wrong to do that. You know, a lot of people, and you know, if that's what you want to do, that's great. So that's my take on that. You know, I used to be real negative and but you know, the older I've gotten, I'm kind of, you know, I'm a live and let live guy. I have what I think and what I believe, but my beliefs are based on facts and thought, and it's just not some whimsical belief. It's what I think, and actually it's not even what I believe, it's what I think about things. And you know, the more I, you know, it's a live and let live. Let these people want to do their TV shows, great. You know, sometimes they're a stepping stone to get people who need information see that show, and then they hear something mentioned, they get to me or get to David or get to other people, get to Steve, get to other people, you know, that are out here, you know, trying to give accurate information and trying to help people. And so, you know, I'm at that point where, let them do their shows, and, like I say, if that's entertainment and people want to watch that, I guess it's better than watching people get slaughtered, on some sort of gory, crime show. So, everything you just got to take with a grain of salt. And I guess that ramble was just to say that, I'm a live and let live type of guy. You do you and I'll do me, and we'll put it all out here in the arena of ideals and let those who are going to dig and do their research look at what we present and make their own conclusions. I think that's the way to go. That's freedom. That's the American way, and I think that's the smart way to do it. So and I am very confident in the things that I present, and so I'm confident if you research and look at my work and what I'm presenting, that you're going to find truth in it, and you're going to find that it's factually based, and that it can help. It can help you or help others that are dealing with the Sasquatch deal, and encounters and ongoing things. So there's my long spiel about what I think about the show Expedition Bigfoot. And so I don't know if they'll get another season or not, but excuse me, they ended up near Hoopa, in where they were. They were there where the Patterson Gimlin film was filmed, and that's just literally right over the hill from Hoopa. It's all in Humboldt. That's all that same area. David Platty's, that's where he did his study and wrote, got the material to write Tribal Bigfoot and the Hoopa Project. So that area's got a lot going on, and there's a large mine's gone blank. There's a large population of Sasquatch in there, for sure. And so, and they were obviously messing with those people. It was obvious. And that dovetails into the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is why do the Sasquatch do what they do? I get all kinds of questions. People, I don't understand. Why do they do this? Why do they do that? Why do they would not? Why do they yell and scream? Why won't they talk to us? Why do they come to your house? Why do they follow you to your house? Why do they slap on the side of the house? Why do they look in the window? Why do they urinate on the side, beside, my deck? Why do they, scream and yell? Why, when confronted, do they act ferocious but then run away? Why? There's a lot of whys, and I get it, and I have some same of the questions, and I finally got to the point where I've come to the realization that they're people just like we are. And I think, if you followed me, that's my thing that I've said multiple times. These are human hybrids. They're just like us. They all have will and intellect, personalities. They have motives, needs, wants, desires. So there's all kinds of things going on with these beings. We're not, when we come across one or encounter one, we're only getting a small slice of what's going on. We don't have a clue. There could be all kinds of things going on, and we're just a momentary blip on their radar. And so we don't know what their mindset is. We don't know is there a clan war going on, or is this one in love and chasing a female and trying to get her attention and doesn't understand why she won't give him attention back? Is he in the middle of a hunt? Is he hunting food? Is he just watching, doing what they do? They're watchers. That's one thing they are, and they always have been. They observe. They're watchers. I think that comes genetically from the fact that they came from the offspring of watcher angels. Even thousands of years ago, that need or that desire to watch, observe is there. And a lot of people don't understand, well, why do they watch? Why do they even, what's the deal? Why would they even watch us? And this is just Scott's opinion, but a couple of things come to mind. Number one, if something comes in my territory in their situation, I would want to put eyes on what it is and watch it until it leaves my area. That way it's not going to surprise me or get the drop on me. And I think that's number one. They want to keep, monitor you while you're in their area, so of course they're watching. And the other is curiosity, and like I said, the other is entertainment, and the fact that it's just what they do. I have no other fancy answer for you. So, but I think that's part of what makes them possibly dangerous. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, they've never been dangerous or done anything, and they're the keepers of the forest, and some are. That's great. But they're a complicated being, just like we are. They have emotions, and they think, and they have a will and an intellect. And human beings can be pretty dangerous. So this is a human hybrid that's 900 pounds, 800 pounds, 1,200 pounds, can run 40 miles an hour, can rip a human being in two very easily. So you've got all those emotions riding inside of a being that is extremely dangerous when he wants to be, and so there's a lot of unknowns. So that's why me and others are be very careful and be cautious. You just have to be, because we don't know. All the years that I've researched them, I can count a handful of. They never talk to me. Not really, and what vocalizations I heard from them have been more either between two Sasquatches or just the normal things they do when they're monitoring the trails and signaling each other, with whoops or wood knocks or yells or bird calls. So there's not been, there's been some attempts at mind speak, and every now and then one will interject some stuff that way, and I try to block it if I don't want it. But other than that, there's not been a conversation with them, and they don't desire one. It's part of the rule set they have, and they don't want it, and I'm fine with that. I don't need to talk with one. They do their thing and I do mine. But I wish I had an answer for you. I wish I could sit down and tell you this is exactly why they do what they do. But at the end of the day, they're just like us. And when you have questions about, well, why they lick the trail camera, or why do they play pranks, they're just like me and you. They're bored. They're doing silly stuff. They mess with us. There's no doubt in my mind they mess with us. They know what we are, they know who we are, they know what our technology does, and they mess with us. They know what a camera is, they know what it does, and they know what a trail camera is. Everybody says, oh, it's poppycock. Well, trust me, the proof's in the pudding, and the way they react and approach those cameras, they know exactly what they are. The way they know how to set them off and set something in front of them or stand in front of them, and then do stuff and then step out, and then they know what passive infrared is. They may not call it passive infrared, but they know what it is, and it blinds them. They're very sensitive to the infrared light spectrum. I think that's borne out both in stuff that Steve Ishdahl's been reading and my personal experience, along with others, concerning trail cameras and or just infrared. So yeah, it's like I said, I know this is a ramble, but sometimes when you're dealing with Sasquatch, it's all just a ramble. I'm telling you. So the other thing is, I want to, yes, this is a shameless plug, the Sasquatch Awareness Project. It's out. It's on Amazon. You can get. You can get the paperback. You can get. There's also an ebook version. A couple people said, it's kind of pricey, and I know. Listen, I'm not making just barely anything on this book, because basically the way it works is Amazon tells you what you got to charge, and I wanted this to be a nice book, so I used glossy paper in the highest quality I could get, and I put some pictures in it, more than I probably should have, but I wanted to give people an idea of what they're looking at, in the woods. And these are not bad, these are good pictures. This is not not cheap, and it's not, somebody commented the pictures were blurry, and I must shake my head, when the day that the Sasquatch sits down for a photo op, I'll let you know. These are, pictures in the, I'm trying to get, no, that's pretty sharp to me. But, I'm trying to show people what they look like. They're different, it's a good, that one, the white one, and, there's actually the first one that guy there. Yeah, they're in the foliage, and I'm using a digital HD camera, so yeah, it's not easy and it's difficult, but the main point of this book is to help people, and that's the whole point. In this book are the chapters. It's like, what is the Sasquatch? What do the Sasquatch look like? Signs of their presence. Are they dangerous? The paranormal supernatural abilities. I hit orbs, dogman, high strangeness. Unwanted Sasquatch residential visits. I want to seek out the Sasquatch in research obsession. Special warning to parents concerning children. Sasquatch repellent for campers. Coping with the Sasquatch encounter. You're not alone. And closing thoughts and resources. So, like I said, in a concise manner, I was trying to put together a resource for those people to, if you know someone who's had an issue with the Sasquatch and's dealing with it, this is a book you can give them that will explain the basics. It's not a deep dive. It's to get someone up to speed that has an encounter. I don't know what's going on. The PTSD and these things aren't supposed to exist, and all the questions that people have. And this is what this book is for, and that's why I wrote it. It's been at least 2 years. It all started during COVID, so it's all been a blur. But it's been at least a couple years writing this book, trying to get it down to concise and something that's digestible by someone who's never heard about a Sasquatch, or to help someone who knows about a Sasquatch that is just having issues. So trying to produce that resource, and I encourage you that if you know someone, purchase the book for them. It's a good book for that's what it was meant for you to be able to hand it to that person that really has no clue what a Sasquatch is, that had an encounter and is full of questions and needs help. And it's also to educate. It's to hand those people who that you're concerned about, that spend a lot of time in the woods, that need to learn about this subject and take it seriously, about education, because we're not educated. No one's, whether we blame the government, whoever we blame, I'm at the point where I can blame the government all day long. They're not going to educate. They're not going to tell people. So it's it's my responsibility. I have the knowledge. I know about it, and I'm trying to do what I can to educate and make people aware that the Sasquatch exist and that they're out there, and what precautions you need to take. When I remember talking to Dave Pilates, when all this ended, and we kind of the research part of it died down because we just finished the Sasquatch genome study. I mean, there wasn't anything else to do. We'd proven it as far as I'm concerned. You had your study, you had your 110 samples. There's nothing left to prove, but the emails and the phone calls kept coming about people having these encounters, and we just struggle with how do we deal with this? How do we have this knowledge, and it felt bad that we're not. I didn't have. What do we do? How do we get this out there? At the time, it was still very negative towards us. So other than just directly dealing with people through returning the emails and calling them back or whatever, but I knew had to do something, had to make a bigger effort. And then when Steve Ishto come along and kind of kicked me in the butt, hey, we got to get out there. You got to get off your butt. Get up. Yeah, you got knocked down, but it's time to get back in the fray. And and then Dave encouraging me as well, and he was moving forward doing what he was doing, and I could do my little part. And this book's that little part. It's a very small little part, but at least I feel like I've contributed something, and it can help people. I sincerely, honestly believe that, and just hope that those who read it, get something out of it. I think they will, and like I said, it's there to help people, and that's my channel is going towards that focus is to help people. And yes, of course I'll show Sasquatch stuff when I get it, because that's part of the edification. That people, a lot of people, pictures help. I've had people email me and saying, on this video, that Sasquatch is exactly what I saw. That looks at and that helps. That by being able to visually say that's it, and to know that someone else got that or saw that, that helps people kind of reconcile it. And it's a lot of it's the battle within. Am I crazy? I know I saw this. It's that confidence. Is being able to firmly say I know what I saw, and not be shaken from it, and not have any doubt. And that that's a big part of the coping mechanism and recovery mechanism, especially with PTSD. And I'm no psychologist or anything else, but I'm just saying, for me personally, and what's happened to me, when I'm able to see, like I said, the witness sketches for me that Sibylla Irwin did when about the two little juveniles, that really helped me. I can't even tell you how much, because I had nightmares, and I've been over the nightmares for years, but it's just it's like being able to put a stick pin in that and say, all right, it's done. That's what they look like. There they were in my mind. It's a finished event. It's a memory. I had it. It happened to me. There's no questions anymore. I know what they were. It just helps me. It just tremendously helped me move forward. And so hopefully that's with sketches and posting videos of different ones, that'll help people as well, and let people know that it happens to me, it happens to others, and you're not the only one. It's a very important part of it as well. Well, Lord, I've rambled on for 28 minutes and 25 seconds, and I hope it's been helpful. I've kind of been all over the place. I think what I'll do is I might string some video in. I've been I've been going back to some of my old footage and still captures of and it's just amazing And, everybody says, oh, that's a blob squatch, oh, that's pareidolia, you're just wishful thinking. But with experience, you kind of get to know what's a blob of nothing and what's really something. And it's amazing to me how often you're being watched and you don't realize it. And they're always watching. I mean, they're all, it's when you're someone who's done the research and you're marked, they're going, and they know who you are. They're almost always watching. It's very seldom that they're not. If you'd have to go to a place where a clan doesn't know you yet. And like I said, it takes about 3 times in an area before the locals come and check you out. I don't know why it's 3. This seems like I went to a new place in Tellico. The first couple times it was great because I didn't even feel any pressure or anything. And then the 3rd time, sure enough, got whooped at, would knock, felt the pressure. I mean, and the whoop was not like there was any guess. He was pretty close, and it's almost like they want you to know, hey, we know who you are, and we know you're here, and we're here too. It's one of those things they do. They want you to know that they're watching. So anyway, I just think it's just it still baffles me that how many of them there are, and then I think the population's growing. This is just my 2 cents worth, based on the reports, based on what I'm seeing and what's in my own experience. Something's up. I know that something's up. So anyway, so that's enough babbling for me from one morning. Get out and enjoy the outdoors. Be safe and be careful. And until next time, y'all be good, and I'll see you later.